Welcome to Sister Sister on 97.3 Citi FM and, of course, Citi TV. Remember, the show's also live across sub-Saharan Africa on DSTV channel 363. My name is Jessica. Thank you so much for joining us again. Don't forget that the show's running for another 60 minutes, and we're going to be talking about relationships. This is your favorite relationship talk show, and yeah, we've got you like that. We'll go for a quick break, but remember that the show's brought to you by Vodafone. It's also brought to you by Good Day Energy Drink. We'll be right back. And you're welcome back, Sister Sister on Citi TV and Citi FM. Remember, if you'd like to be part of the conversations that go on the show today, there are maybe 3 channels you should think of using. Well, first is our Facebook page. Search for us at Sister Sister LIVE. Like our page, comment on our wall. We like that kind of thing. Better yet, just send us a DM. You can send us a WhatsApp as well, and the number will pop up on your screen. Plus, you can also send an email to Jessica at citifmonline.com. All right. So now that you know how you can reach us, let's say hello to our sisters. Hi, Ceci. How you doing?
I'm good.
You all right?
And you?
I'm all right. Can't complain.
Great.
You're looking radiant. What's the secret?
Thank you. It's Wednesday.
What's special about Wednesdays?
I don't know. I was born on a Wednesday, so there's some positive energy that comes with Wednesday for me.
Okay. We'll ride on your positive energy for the rest of the show. How about that?
Sure.
Okay, great.
I have enough to go around.
Let's say hello to Olivia joining us via Zoom. How you doing, Livy?
I'm good, thank you.
Super.
I was gonna say I had a stressful day, but I changed my mind and I'm gonna be positive. Well, I'm having a good day and it's gonna end well.
Yes. I like it when you put it that way, you know. No matter the circumstances, stay positive. Good to see you, and thanks for joining us. We have Claudia joining us all the way from Berlin, is it?
Yep.
Yeah,
Berlin.
Claudia, good to see you. What's new?
Well, so the lockdown life, we are surviving. So it's just the routine, getting stuck indoors and just working back.
Okay. Great. Well, thank you so much for joining us. And I'm hoping that lockdown life isn't, weighing you down too much. I can imagine what that's like. Ghana tried lockdown for 2 weeks. Yeah. we couldn't take it.
Since December, so it's getting to us.
Wow. I can imagine.
Yeah.
Well, hang in there. And I guess shows like this can give you some therapy. So that's a good thing.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Precisely.
All right. Great. We'll jump right into, our messages because people are waiting to hear from us. So we'll jump right in. This one says, hello, sisters. We've been dating for 3 years now. And we're set to get married in 6 months. Now, he's a 42-year-old chartered accountant. I'm 37 and I run a salon. We've never been sexually involved because we didn't think that it was the way to go. He's an introvert, and it took a long time to get him to open up. Now, he previously suffered a broken heart, so he was reluctant to get close to anyone else. We've had a healthy relationship so far, and it's been absolutely beautiful. We underwent a routine medical exam to ascertain the state of our health before marriage, and we found out that my fiancé is HIV positive. He has become a total recluse, and he thinks marriage is a no-go area because of his status. He believes he will put me in harm's way if he goes ahead to marry me. He doesn't talk to anybody. He won't even talk to me. I've tried everything in my power to let him know that this is not a deal breaker because people with HIV have succeeded in making HIV-negative babies. I'm trying to be strong for him because I love him so much, but deep down, this scares me a whole lot. But not enough to let him go. I still believe there's a way out. He has practically given up on everything. He's a wonderful person, and the last 5 years have been the best 5 years of my life, truth be told. Sisters, how do I convince him that he can live a normal life? How do I get him to open up to me on his fears about the whole situation? Please help, because this one is a keeper, and I cannot lose him. Wow. Yeah, this message is, I like it. I like the message. Ceci, would you want to weigh in? That's quite interesting.
It's heavy.
Yeah. Would you have gone ahead to date someone or marry someone who was HIV positive? Just honestly.
I think I would have. I would have. HIV is not as scary as it used to be. Back in the day, it was scary. Like there were so many campaigns, there were ads, the whole protect yourself. You remember that ad, huh? Wise up. Yeah. No means no.
Oh, you remember that ad?
Of course I
Crazy.
do. Yeah. So it used to be really scary. But now, malaria is even killing people faster than HIV is. And a lot of people have been able to live normal lives, even being HIV positive. Even from birth, they've been able to live 20 years and beyond. That notwithstanding, it is very possible that he can infect her. But with technology, that can be prevented. Okay, so first of all, she should shelve the marriage. It is not priority now. I don't think it's the priority now. The priority now is to get him to warm up to the idea that he can live a normal life. Because right now, he's in a bad place and he doesn't think that, and I'm sure that he doesn't even think that life is worth living because he has given up on everything. He has become a recluse and he doesn't want to talk to anybody. So right now, the focus should be on bringing him to the realization that it's not that bad. You should look at it as the glass is half full rather than the glass is half empty. From the little that I know, if you are able to get him to go on the ARVs, that is the antiretroviral drugs, and he's very, very religious about it, there will be a point where he can have an undetectable viral load, which is like if he goes through the normal HIV test, you won't see it.
Right.
You won't see that he's positive. Exactly, it will be suppressed. So when it is suppressed, you can actually have unprotected sex, and then you will not be infected. So there are so many possibilities to this. You wouldn't necessarily be infected with the HIV virus. Sorry, the HIV. So the first thing is to get him out of that shell that he has coiled back into, because he is an introvert. So this will be very, very difficult for him. Very difficult. And she needs to gain his trust all over again. Get him to talk to her. Because once he gets to, he starts opening up about his fears, and that is a good step. That's a very big step. But if he's not talking to anybody, you don't know what is going through his head. You don't know what he might do. But when he starts talking to you, at least you can try and predict what he's about or what he will be doing. So for counselors, you need a lot of counseling, a lot of psyche reevaluation, getting him to, get out of the negative, feeling, because there's so many possibilities. He can live a full life. You can have kids who wouldn't come out with HIV, because even HIV positive mothers can have babies who are HIV negative. So, Charlie, if your wife is negative and you are positive, Charlie, the possibilities are endless. So the marriage is not priority now. Put it somewhere. Then deal with him, his fears, his sad state. Get him out of it. Get him to have a positive approach. Then you can move on from there. It's doable.
Okay.
Yeah.
Olivia, I'd like you to weigh in on this as well. What do you think?
I agree 100% with Ceci. Hearing you read the story, my mind has gone back to my experience. When you're pregnant, you have to undergo all sorts of tests, from STD tests to your blood sugar to HIV AIDS, AIDS tests as a pregnant woman. So I remember my experience just before the counselor. So they schedule you for you to do the test to find out whether you're negative or positive for HIV. And then when they're about to break the news to you, irrespective of whether it's negative or positive, they hook you up with a counselor. Now, this counselor is a professional. Now, you sit in front of the counselor, and the counselor literally, well, this was not in Ghana. I don't know what they do in Ghana now, but literally with my experience, this counselor went through like a whole lecture about HIV AIDS, when you contract it, this is what we'll do, this is what you don't have to do, people live naturally with it normally. Like, the lady was just going on, and I was sitting there thinking, okay, I haven't had sex with anybody, I know I'm negative, just give me the results and let me walk out of here. But I was actually negative, but I'm just talking about how the information was given to him and how he took it in. And the fact that not everybody will take such news just easily. Like, it's not going to be easy. So like Ceci said, hold on with regards to the marriage. I think you did say that you love him to bits and you don't want to lose him. So I think that you need to give him time. People process information differently. They process plans. This one to him is definitely bad news. So he needs time to process it. And depending on how it was told to him, he needs counseling. He needs a lot of counseling. It's not going to come easy. It's not going to come overnight. And he needs to accept that this is what the situation is. Like they say, when you have a lot of, when you have people go to rehab centers, to enable them go through the healing process or to enable them get out of the addiction, they need to accept the state in which they are in. So they come up and they say, okay, my name is Olivia and whatever, I love too much sugar or something. But they basically admit the state in which they're in. Because that's all part of the psychological process. Because once you admit it, you're also ready to get help to be able to move on to the next step. Right now, he's in denial phase. Everything means nothing to him. Nobody means anything to him. He's just done with life. He just doesn't care. So I think that you need to also give yourself time. Okay, two things. Give yourself time and also give him time to accept what's happening. Give yourself time. I mean, I don't expect you to put all your eggs in one basket. I can understand you love him, but then he's one of to ever recover from the situation in which he's in. He probably wants to die alone and all of that. So you also can't spend the rest of your life brooding over one man who doesn't even want to continue with his life. I really don't think that's fair on you and that's fair on your family. Okay, so just have a proper think about it. Give him time to go through the healing process, and by all means, encourage him. Find professional help, proper counselors, because he needs a lot of talking to be able to understand that life can actually go on. And it's only then that he will start looking at things differently and he will start looking at things out of the box. The other thing too is, when I was just talking about this, something just came to mind. I'm wondering, how is he like when it comes to attraction between you and him? How is it like? Is he like, I don't know, sexually attracted to you in any way? I know this might sound like over the bar, but like a lot of things are coming to mind. Because, I don't know, just in case, just make sure, because you see, you did say that you guys did not believe in premarital sex, and me, I preach like stay against, don't have sex and all of that. Mm-hmm. But there has to be some kind of attraction whereby, at some point in time, there's something for you to know that, hey, Charlie, this guy is really into me like that. Because you need to know and you need to make sure that, Charlie, you're not getting into something that's more. What if he's pretending that he didn't know he had HIV/AIDS? What if he's not even into women like that? What if, like there's so many things. People can just sort of string you along and make it look like, oh, they're not, really the problem. And the world is such a crazy place. So just make sure that you're dotting all your I's, crossing all your T's, making sure that this guy is who he says he is. He really, but it will all take time. That's why I'm saying give it time and everything will unfold. But by all means, if you're ready to make it work, I mean, I don't see why it shouldn't work. I take it one day at a time.
Right. Okay. Let's bring in Claudia. What are your thoughts on this one? Is having HIV a big deal for you?
For me, I mean, HIV is not a death sentence, and I think we've come a long way with science. From how I see it, he's dealing with acceptance issues. So he's just been given this big blow. He's planning the next phase of his life with a woman that we assume he loves. So it will take a lot of time and a lot of science for him to accept where he is now. And he can only get it from the experts. The lady can only support him and encourage him, and the two of them can go for the counseling together, because now he has to accept it from a psychological and a scientific point of view that it's safe for the two of them to be together. Because if I understood you, he's afraid that he's putting her at risk. Mm-hmm. So he needs that assurance to know that it's safe. We know it's safe. Everybody knows it's safe. But when it's coming from an expert, it holds more value and more substance. So they can only deal with it from a scientific point of view with counselors, with therapists especially, and also live in the now. They should forget about the wedding, the future, and try to live in the moment to try and sort things out. Talk, because now I'm sure he's going through a lot of anxiety and depression. So your life is about ending, and he's probably thinking about himself now and how he can live day to day. So you should just take it easy, live in the moment. But I would also ask difficult questions. We've not been having sex, so how long have you had this HIV? Mm-hmm. And marriage is about trust. We've been abstaining. I mean, you can get HIV from all other sources, but I think as humans, instinctively, the first thing that comes to mind is sex. So I would be curious. I would want to dig more and know more about this guy and ask more questions. I feel she's too eager because she feels the guy is the only option. He's a keeper, but you don't know what is out there for you. So she needs to keep an open mind about these things and see if it's even worth the journey. If it's worth the journey, ask the right questions, because there has to be accountability. Fine, he has HIV, you're going through therapy, you're going through counseling, but there should be some form of accountability and open communication about how he thinks he got there and the way forward. Have those difficult conversations, but in a safe space with an expert. I would go for the science and psychology of it. Just to assure him that it's safe to move on.
Right. I'll just piggyback off something you said, Claudia, because since I read the story, it's also been like running through my mind. For some reason, I do not believe that he didn't know he was HIV positive.
Possible.
I could be wrong. Yeah, but I'm not buying it. I think he knew. I think he was waiting for this, maybe an opportunity to tell her. But of course, since he fell in love with this girl and everything seemed to go well, and she was okay with the fact that they weren't going to have like premarital sex and all that, he was waiting for her to fall in love with him properly and then find out and pretend like he didn't know. I could be wrong, but I feel like I can't help but feel like that's actually what went on. Either way, it's neither here nor there. She still loves him. She wants to be with him. Your question is, how do you convince him that he can live a normal life? Luckily, there's a lot of literature out there. There are videos. There are professionals you can speak to who can volunteer information that could help him just calm down and realize that, Charlie, all is not lost. As Ceci said in the beginning, having HIV these days is not a death sentence. You just need to do certain things to, live a full and meaningful life. So that isn't really a problem. How do you get him to open up to you about his fears? You need to give him time. And especially if he was really hiding this from you. You need to give him time. When he's ready to speak, he will. But just give him the assurance that you will be there for him. My 2 cents, like, come what may. So good luck with that. Let's read a couple of comments. Lucy says, sorry about what you're both going through, but I'll advise you to be strong. Show him that you love and care. Don't leave him alone, because he can even develop negative thoughts about life and may attempt to end his life. Wishing you both the best. Ziblim says, I'm touched. May God make it easy for you guys. Ameen. Nana says, let him take the test at different labs. There could be a mistake somewhere. Lena says, get a counselor for you both. You both need one. It's good you're sticking around. He'll bounce back when he comes to the realization that malaria even kills faster than HIV. Ira says, he knew he was positive from the onset. People pretend though. Just don't force him. God is trying to take him out of your life. Don't force and stay where God knows you have no business at. Marriage isn't a joke, madam. Martin says, your kind of positivity can make Africans get the cure for COVID. What if he knew his status, hence his no-sex stance? Guys who agree to no sex till marriage are the type who can be president of the U.S.
Wow. Please
don't always trust the humility of people in situations like this. Okay. Rachel says, wow. I don't even know what type of words to use because I'm speechless. You love him very much and still want to be with him, whether it's good or bad. God bless you for your kind heart. Really. But let him know it's never too late and there's absolutely nothing that God cannot do. Tell him to have faith in God and be open with you as well. And finally, Benassi says, if he's taken his ARVs properly, after some time, his viral load will go down and become undetectable. That way, he's still positive but can't transmit the virus. Those are a couple of your messages. We'll go for a quick break. When we come back, yet another message on the show tonight.
Citi TV is live. On DSTV, go to channel 363. On GoTV, access Citi TV on channel 182. On a digital TV, please press the menu button on the remote control and run a new search on your TV. Take note that without an antenna, you cannot access Citi TV on your television. Citi TV can be accessed on a free-to-air digital box like the GoTV and StarTimes box. Citi TV, it's your world.
Welcome back. All right, so remember the show is brought to you by Vodafone. It's also brought to you by Good Day Energy Drink. We have yet another message. This says, hi, sisters. I was dating this lady some years ago. A few years into a relationship, she cheated on me and I found out. Things turned sour after that. She asked me to forgive her, so I tried forgiving her. But she still continued with the red flags that led to her cheating on me and was actually trying to juggle between myself and another man to see who will marry her. I realized she couldn't change and gave up on her. Her family knew about our relationship. Fast forward, 4 years later, her younger sister and I have become really good friends, and I think I actually like her more than a friend. We have so much in common, but I do not know if I should act on my feelings. This is not like a revenge thing. I really do like her, and I get the sense she likes me too. We have gone out a few times, and her sister, which is my ex, knows about it. Okay, will it be wrong if I told her how I feel? I've been battling with this decision for some time now, so please advise. All right, Claudia, let me come to you with this one. What do you think?
Why are people like this? Why do people just like complications? Like life is so simple. Why her? Why her of all the women in the world? Why that particular sister? I mean, it's weird. It's not wrong because it's not incest, but it's awkward and it's weird. And has he thought of the relationship between the two sisters? How this is going to mean for the two sisters? The friction in the family, at extended family level, at nuclear family level. For me, this is undue pressure. But if he wants to go ahead, it's not really his decision to make. He can only voice his feelings. And then it's up to the girl to decide if she's also ready for this hassle, as I put it, because then she has to deal with her sister, who might probably still be in love with him. We'll never know. But for me, it's too complicated to engage. But if he still wants to engage, he should say it. I mean, nobody will kill him for voicing his feelings. But it's up to the lady who he intends to propose to decide if this arrangement is worth the emotional burden that will come, and the family frictions and the family discussions, the jokes and the jest that will come along. And how sure are we that he's even gotten over the first girl? He's assuming he's over her. So how is this new girl also going to ensure that you still don't like my sister? You're not eyeing my sister whilst you're in the house with me? There's a lot of questions and complications, but I wouldn't advise him. But if he still wants to do it, say it. Nobody will kill you, but the decision is not yours to make. She has to evaluate the risk and the burden involved and see if it's worth it at all. But there are too many women in this world. My 2 cents.
Right. Very good 2 cents. Ceci.
I like the way she started. Why are people like this?
Like to complicate things, huh?
Yeah. I don't think there's a real problem here. Why? Because it's not like he and this new lady have talked about anything. You assume that, okay, you people like each other, but I don't think the relationship has been defined yet.
No.
You've not had that conversation. So you are just...
He's wondering whether to go ahead.
Okay, he's wondering whether to go ahead. Okay. Well, he can go ahead and tell her what he feels. What she does with that information, that is where the problem or the not problem is. Okay, so she can decide that when you tell her, she will go like, this is too complicated. I like you, but this is too complicated because my sister has already been with you. Or, let's do it. Okay, so you can go ahead, tell her, but a lot will be dependent on what she does with that information. Simple. So that's about it. It's not such a huge problem. So there isn't much to say about it. Obviously, the previous relationship, well, she cheated on you. She was now juggling between you and this other guy, which means that she wasn't sure about what she wanted.
Or she wanted to get married and she didn't feel like he was ready. Okay. So for her, it was about marriage, and she felt like you were not ready. So she was now juggling between two. You know, I have a picture of someone juggling oranges or apples. Yeah, but it was obvious that maybe you didn't have what she wanted at the time. I don't know if this woman is married or not. Yeah, I was wondering as well.
Yeah.
But would it make a difference if she was married to someone else?
Honestly, I don't think so. It didn't work. It didn't work. I mean, it's just about how matured we are about the whole thing. Like, if it does happen, how are you guys going to see it? Hey, you were with this other sister, and then now you can't go. You know how Ghanaians are like saying that you can't go for two sisters in the same house, and you know how. Yeah, I don't, Charlie, some way. But tell her, by all means, let her know how you feel. For she doesn't feel that way about you, or for she does. So just tell her, then you take it from there. Plain and simple.
I do think that it would matter whether her sister, which is his ex, is married now or not. If she's married, chances are she's moved on. She's happy where she is. May not bother so much. But say she's still unmarried 4 years later, and now you're falling in love with my sister. Like, how dare you? Berman. Okay. Olivia, let me bring you in. I don't know how you feel about this.
Yes, I agree. How dare you? Like, what Stephanie was saying about asking her, okay, well, this is just my humble opinion. I don't think that this relationship that he is fueling with this sister is necessary. What it is that this is what I'm thinking or I'm imagining. So big sister cheats on him. He is so heartbroken, calls the sister up because they're friends. It's like, do you know what your sister did? This is what your sister did. She broke my heart. Can you imagine? She was on a call with this other guy, but I really love your sister. And then this girl was telling you, oh, don't worry, everything will work out okay. Everything will work out okay. Now, she cheated on you twice. Now, you've been looking for consolation in this girl's, well, not arms, but with regards to what she thinks and emotional solace and all of that. And she's always been there for you. And relationship, like they say, you don't build relationship. It doesn't just come up like that. It's built over time. You spend so much time with this girl. Okay, I'm presuming it was when you were going out with her sister up until now. So there are things that automatically you see that you didn't see before because you're spending more time with her. It's like, and you did tell us that, you actually have a lot of things in common with her. And all of that came out of time, you spending so much time with her. So this is my take. I don't honestly, if you end up in any kind of relationship with your ex's sister, look at it this way. Imagine that you actually marry your ex's sister, She's an ex who will just not go anywhere. She is not going anywhere. You can't block her. You can't get rid of her. You guys have kids. She's the auntie. Auntie wants to come and visit. Like, you can't erase her. And the sisters, depending on their bond, you can't even get in between them. And intimacy is such a crazy thing, my dear. Because once you get intimate, you've gotten intimate with her big sister. And then now you're getting intimate with her. And depending on what the attraction was to start with, how many years down the line you're entertaining auntie in your house? Lai Momo is always Lai Momo. Me, I don't care what anybody says. But she will come and she will tease you. And you don't know, sometimes you can have some sisters who are just evil like that. It's life. It is true. Not every sister is an amazing sister. I know what I'm talking about. You see, you can have this girl, this other big sister, be all envious. It didn't work out for me. Maybe you, this guy, you've decided, you're staying focused in this marriage with this other sister. You're making things work. You're going to be faithful, yada, yada, yada. Meanwhile, the big sister is sitting back, looking at, so you guys are actually married. You have kids together. You're prosperous. This should have been my marriage. And all of a sudden, I can see some kind of envy brewing, some kind of hatred. It's when you look at the future implications of getting involved with this sister, it might be an innocent relationship, but there are too many bottlenecks. There are too many landmines around it. I honestly, when I sit here and I'm looking, I'm projecting what the future is going to hold or what the future is going to look like. I'm scared. Because you could start, you could get the sisters to start hating each other. And then also considering the fact that the family knows you, like everybody knows you, everybody was expecting you guys to actually get married. And then all of a sudden, Charlie, you got one, it didn't work out. I think you should move on. This is my honest opinion. I think you should move on. I think that you've been overly vested in the family, in too many people within the same family. I think if you decided to look out of the box, you wouldn't even necessarily have recognized this girl's sister to even begin with. I think that it's a relationship. You gave her, your ex, this is what I'm talking about, you gave her a second chance. She didn't work with it. Things didn't work out. It's done. By all means, you can be friends with the sister, but not to this extent. I think that you should start to look at things differently and look out of the box. Don't go into the same family, into a whole lot of mess that you can't have control over, because it can and it could actually get messy. So, Charlie, a word to the wise, like Jess will say, isn't there? No.
Alrighty. Well, I think it's been well said, and it's very obvious that this might complicate things for you. I love how, Olivia, you sort of harped on the future, because sometimes we're looking and chasing immediate gratification, when in truth we need to be looking deeper and further than that. It can get really nasty, and it can get out of hand, and you may not enjoy this relationship with this other sister. So steer clear. If you can, please do yourself a favor. You can thank us later. It's Sister Sister on Citi TV and Citi FM. We'll go for a quick break. When we come back, more messages. And you're welcome back, Sister Sister, on Citi TV, Citi FM. Your comments are welcome. Don't forget, you can send an email to jessica@citifmonline.com, and you can send a WhatsApp, 054-998-6996. We'll go into our, yes, another message here, and it says, "Hi, sisters. I've been married for 2 years, and my wife recently suggested that we try a threesome to spice up our sex life. I was stunned to hear this from her. Thing is, she has a female friend who doesn't mind participating in the act. I'm indifferent about doing it, but I know how some women can be. What if she decides to make it a regular thing? Or what if it affects our marriage in a negative way eventually? Please advise." Olivia? Hi. Talk to me, sister. To threesome or not to threesome?
Not to threesome. What are we talking about? This is mad. It's crazy. I don't know why it's being entertained. Like, I don't care what they say about, like it's the 21st century, you have to be open, you have to be... Ain't no way I'm sharing my man with no woman. No. Like, it's messed up. You know, this is what breeds a lot of, like, I don't even have the adjectives to define what is going on inside my head right now. But you're opening up your marriage to what? Or your relationship to what? You have a threesome with somebody, and sex is such a powerful thing in a relationship. You're inviting somebody else onto your marriage bed. Like, your bed is supposed to be holy. It's supposed to be that time where you bond with your wife or your husband. And you're asking some other ladies, planners obey different styles. What are you going to do? Like, if she comes and she's like rocking it and doing also that, what are you going to do?
This that you
call
can't
some husband now? I know.
Yeah, I mean that's a legit question, man.
What are you going to do? And it's true. Like this, however you want to look at it. Some people are great in bed and some people aren't. Right. So assuming that this girl has got her A game on and she's doing the whole Kama Sutra and the whole 360, what are you going to do? Sit back and watch them and then afterwards you're going to be sad? That's mad. You know what? If I were you, right, I will figure out how best I can satisfy my husband in bed. I'll do a bit of research, what I can do to make it exciting, what I can do to make it interesting. Including a third party in your marriage, in any kind of relationship, is always a bad idea. So what? If you're at work and you're busy, what are you going to do? And your husband really desperately needs to have sex. Is he going to be calling it to come in? Like, so... Like,
come and warm the bed before you get there.
Thank you. Like, how... Like, if a woman is saying, like, I can't take fast. I really cannot.
Can't sing.
So, you know what? I definitely can't. But you know what? Please. Let me get myself together. Don't entertain some other woman in your bed. It's a bad idea. It's not going to end well. I can see disaster from here. From STDs, you don't know who she's been with. You don't know what mind she's going to be coming into the relationship with. You know, you would have a divorce anytime soon. Spiritually, you know, what are you bringing into your marriage spiritually? Like, it's a no-no. It's like you're opening up how can I describe it? You're opening up the doors of your marriage to all sorts of negativity, all sorts of evil, and all sorts of craziness. Please, it's not cool. You think that, it's the 21st century, you know what's up. It is not. Both physically and spiritually, it's a bad idea. So don't. Concentrate on how best you can spice up your marriage, how best you can spice up your sex. Like, there are 1,000,001 things to do. You can research now. Information is out there. You can Google, you can YouTube, you can Instagram, you can do all of that. But, you know, you can try going somewhere else together. Change the environment in which you are intimate. If it's always inside the bedroom, change it up. Do it somewhere else. You know, like, enjoy each other. There are 1,000,001 things that you could do. to enjoy intimacy, but including another person, I don't think so. So what's next? He's going to invite his friend to also come and have sex with you. And at which point in time, how the Bible talks about the two shall become one. So I don't think that the Bible said the two shall become three. Like, as far as my Bible is concerned, I don't know what church you go to, but Charlie, ain't nothing cool about this. So Charlie, do what you can to enjoy your marriage, but please, by all means, don't include another person.
Claudia, is it a good idea to introduce a third party into a union like that?
First question should be, are they religious? If they are not religious, then all options are on the table. Because for me, marriage is, there's no plan anywhere. It's about what works for the two of you. And now ethical infidelity is a thing. There are working models, there are discussions around it, how couples can practice it in a safe space, bring in a third person. Because I've met couples where both of them have come to that agreement. They don't share one person. Each of them has their own other person. And sometimes they share one person because then it implies one would have to be same sex and it's complicated. So there are different working models. So my first question is, are they religious? If they are not religious, what is the working model for them? What is going to make? Because you see, instead of dismissing this lady's feelings right away, we need to understand why she feels a threesome is an answer to her marriage. That's the only way we can find a solution to the problem. Because you see, you can refuse her, he'll go behind your back. That's infidelity all the way. And that's why now they are coming up with ethical infidelity, where couples actually talk about options. But then in our part of the world, religion is a game changer. Adultery makes everything messy. But if they are not religious, what is stopping them from trying other things? I mean, it's not for, it can be for short term, for the two of them to explore, see how it works. If it doesn't work, you try another model. I mean, I know polyamorous couples, they are very happy. But I'm saying we live in a very religious, traditional world. The society has not accepted it. There's a lot of judgment out there. Men and women are cheating anyway. So why don't we have an open conversation about it? But from his point of view, he seems uncomfortable with what the wife is suggesting. So maybe the first step is to understand where the inadequacy is coming from. Is it from him, or is she the bored one? And then couples therapy, see if a third person is even necessary. But for me, I always feel the first step is not to dismiss the wife's suggestion. Have an honest conversation, find out why she feels that, and she's even identified her friend who can fill the gap. You know, she's thought it through. From her side, she's done all the calculations and she's thought it through. They might probably even be seeing each other already with her friend. The two of them might probably be seeing each other, and now they want to sort of like regularize it at your level. So we need to keep an open mind about these things. Sexuality has advanced and it's now very fluid. But our society is a bit hypocritical, closed, and not open to any other working models. But if they do the research and they talk to experts, they will know that this conversation is very layered and there are so many issues that they would have to tackle, especially finding out the source of the inadequacy. Is it because they need a third person, or the two of them can actually figure it out? But don't dismiss it. If you're not religious, consider all options on the table that will make the marriage work. But do it ethically, because now there are working models and there are ways of going around it. Spirituality doesn't come in if you're not religious. So that opens the debate. If you are religious, then it's even off the table. This is like a deal breaker if they are religious. But if they are not, what is stopping you from being fluid and trying other things? And the end game is what will make this marriage work in a healthy way.
Okay.
Try all the options.
Yeah, I think you've made your point. Ceci, do you hold a varied opinion?
Yeah, no, I do not. I am totally.
Which one is it?
You let me talk.
Talk.
I'm totally in agreement of the fact that he needs to ask questions. Why would she think about something as outrageous as a threesome? Ask her. Probably she's lacking somewhere when it comes to your sexual activity. So ask her, what is it that I'm not showing you all the Kama Sutra styles you are looking for? Is there something I'm not doing right? Talk to him. Talk to her, and then find out the source of her inadequacy in your sexual relationship, because in marriage, sex is nothing and everything. Okay? That is what bonds the two of you together. Now, when you're getting hitched, it was just the two of you. So, I think a third party is a long shot. And you've been married for just 2 years. I don't think you have explored enough the sexual aspect of your marriage.
In 2 years, you sure?
Because marriage, 2 years down, forever to go.
Well, yeah.
Long
But
journey.
you haven't explored, like, in 2 years?
I don't think they have.
For 10 years.
I know.
Yeah, you never know.
I know. But true, talk to her. Don't just go like, what sort of silly thing are you suggesting? That would dampen her spirit. So find out from her why she's suggesting this. If there is something you can do to close that gap, please, by all means, do it. But
He said he doesn't mind. Yeah, he actually says he doesn't mind. So wow.
I think when it starts like this, at a point in time, I'm sure they'll be suggesting orgies and stuff.
Oh boy.
Yeah, because when it starts like this, you agree. At some point, human beings, we are insatiable. Okay? The more we get, the more we want. So, please, think it through carefully. If you are not religious, the options are on the table. Do as you please. But know that there are consequences to everything. Okay, so think about the consequences. It's very, very important. It's important.
Yeah. Okay. I think, like you said, he's indifferent. But he's worried that it might not be like a one-off thing. It might become like a regular occurrence. And that's where, his problem really is. Tough one. But I think, yes, definitely find out if there are things that you're not doing. Reason why she feels like she needs to introduce a third party. Maybe, for instance, your sex life has gone stale. There's nothing happening there. Or maybe you're not as exciting anymore and she needs extra stimulation to get there. It is what it is. So yeah, just reach out, have a good conversation with her, and look at how things will go. I wish you guys the best of luck. I don't know what else to say at this point, but yeah, it is what it is. Okay, producer, do we have more time? Okay, maybe we can do our last message. Says, hi sisters, I have 2 kids with a guy I'm not married to, and he treats me anyhow, as if I'm not human, even though my educational background is higher than his. I recently met my former boyfriend on Facebook, and we started chatting. He wants me back, has promised to marry me as soon as possible. To be honest, I still love him, but I don't know what to do. I'm confused about the whole thing. Should I leave my current boyfriend for my ex? I'll let you spend 1 minute each on this one because we're almost out of time. Ceci, I'll come to you. What do you think? 2 kids with this guy, treats her anyhow. And then there's the ex-boyfriend lurking in the background who's willing to marry her. But she says she's confused. I'm confused why she's confused.
Me too.
But yeah.
Me too. I don't get what the confusion is about. There's no confusion about this.
Right.
The fact that you will have kids with him doesn't mean you are tied to him. You have kids with him. People have kids out of wedlock. They are able to have civil conversations, especially when it has to do with their children. So, yeah, you can have a civil conversation, have an amicable conversation with the man, about your kids. But if you have found somebody who doesn't treat you anyhow, who loves you, you are still in love with the person. What is preventing you? I don't see what the problem is. She doesn't have a problem. There's no problem.
Right. Olivia, weigh in on this?
I feel like she could be moving from frying pan into fire, though, because when she says he treats me anyhow could mean what? You see what I mean? And I feel like her ex coming into the picture sort of all of a sudden clouded her judgment. And the question is, why did her ex leave her? Okay, and why does he want her back? And is he just using the fact that, oh, I'm marrying you to sort of get her attention, get her attention to have sex with her? Like, if he was so good, why didn't he stay with you? And why is he your ex? And why are you entertaining him on social media? And the thing is, she needs to have serious conversations with this guy. The word that she used for me doesn't hold water. Anyhow could mean anything. Anyhow could mean the fact that maybe she's
well, she
bored,
said, as if I'm not human. So it's obviously not pleasant. Yeah.
It could mean anything, really. Okay, it could mean that to every action there's a reaction. We haven't heard the guy's story. It's too vague for me, if you ask me. But the thing is, I feel like the fact that you had 2 kids with him, have a final last conversation with him. Find out what kind of future you guys have together. Does he intend marrying you? Find out what the options are. Take a pen and paper, list them down, because trust me, you could end up, for the sake of the kids, so you could end up going to your ex-boyfriend, and he could be just hanky-panking you, and you don't know, and you could be left with nothing, really. And you need to know whether this guy that you're in a marriage with, or no, the relationship with, is looking to be there with you full time, and then you take it from them. And I feel like things could be worked out. You didn't say he was abusing you. Well, maybe he is. I wish I had a bit more information about what you said about, him treating you anyhow and not like a human being. So, like, I need more to be able to work with, because you need to make an informed decision, and it's too vague.
Right.
But tread with caution as much as possible.
Yeah. I mean, for me, anyhow, not like a human being is definitely a negative experience. So that's pretty clear. Claudia, you have the final word.
They should leave him immediately. Because for me, anyhow is bare minimum, is nothing to work with. And for her to have contemplated going back to this ex, it means her experience with that ex is better than what she has now. That's why she's confused. Because if it was totally trash, she wouldn't even have considered this guy in the first place. And I also feel the societal narrative of we stigmatizing and single mothers and how being with a different man with kids is also holding her back. So she needs to think of herself now. We need to live and enjoy our life. What will make her happy? She should walk away from someone who doesn't treat you like a human being. If you've been with him for 10 years, 20 years, there's no quality of life to it. You are better off being single with your kids and living your best life. So even if this ex doesn't work out, you are still going to enjoy your life with your kids. I mean, God didn't create you for this man who doesn't even value you. And I mean, the catchword is, he doesn't even treat you like a human being. So why even spend a second on him? Move on, try new things. If this ex doesn't work out, life goes on. I mean, we need to keep an open mind about, if it's 60 years you're going to live on earth, you need to concentrate on the quality of life and not what society thinks about. I strongly suspect she's holding on because she thinks she has 2 kids with a man. Right. Society is going to stigmatize her. She's going to be left behind. She's going to be judged. And so she's missing out on the unknown, the fear of the unknown, which is holding her back. But I think you should go. Leave him. Go and live your best life with your kids.
Super. I mean, I agree with Claudia. I'll end it here. Thank you very much to our sponsors, Vodafone and Good Day Energy Drink. We'll be back same time next week, ladies. Thank you for your time as well.
You're
Olivia,
welcome.
Claudia, lots of love to you. Stay safe, please. And to those of you who watch every single week, we totally appreciate your audience. Thank you so much for tuning in. And of course, if you listen on Citi FM as well. Take care. Bye-bye.